Welcome to Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. It's the 4th of November and we're either going to be proven geniuses or idiots within the next few hours. I'm hoping genius, but it seems like my history has leaned in the other direction. We're going to take the tractor and go into this spot. And I'll try to lay out as best I can the logic here. It's on the edge of that big pick cornfield. We can get into it okay by coming around from the far north end of the farm and then coming into the stand from that direction on this south wind. But it's going to be really hard to get out of there at the end of legal shooting time because there'll be, in theory at least, there'll be deer out in that corn. So the only way we're going to get out of there is to have some kind of a distraction, and the tractor starting up when we sneak back from the tree stand to the tractor should be enough of a distraction to gently move them out of there, and then we'll come back through the farm. The deer are used to tractors here. I mean, I'm on this thing quite a lot. We do a lot of work on the farm, so I think that'll be okay. But the other side to this too, which I think is even more interesting, is going to be the fact that the wind isn't perfect. It actually blows from the tree stand that we put up a few weeks ago. It's a good spot. It's down in the timber a little bit, but our scent is going to blow right up to an open gate. And that's where I've got the camera. And that's where I've been getting pictures of these deer, including the buck that we're after. He's been in that area some over the past few days, but I don't want the deer to get into that spot where they could smell us. So I'm going to park the tractor there. So the tractor is going to be about probably 60 yards from the tree stand, and it's going to be parked right by that camera, right in that open gate. They're not going to go up there. They're not going to see that tractor and then go up to it, I don't think. So that means they're not going to get downwind of us, which is the main thing. And whether it actually spooks the deer away from that spot, that's better than them getting in there and smelling us. So the tractor is going to create almost like a little barrier to keep the deer from getting downwind. And with a little bit of luck, they're going to come through the timber, and they're going to, the buck we're after is going to come through the timber and give us a shot. We're not going to have to worry about the tractor at all. But we don't want deer getting up in that spot and smelling us. So we're going to have a 60-yard walk from the tractor to our tree stand. This, like I said, it could go really well, or it could be a bust, but we've had enough busts. So it's not like that's going to be new to us. It's more about just protecting this spot and not letting the deer get in a spot where they can smell us. And then we have a way to get out of there at the end of legal shooting time without really messing that all up. We start that tractor up, and any deer in the area are going to go, oh, there's a tractor, and they're just going to kind of shy away from it. They're not going to panic like they would if we tried to sneak out of there. Carson, you ready for the experiment?
I'm ready. See how it works.
Let's go. Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, Code of Silence Apparel, the Hunt Stand app, Whitetail Institute, Research Equals Results, B3 Archery, Muddy Outdoors Tree Stands, Stealth Cam trail cameras, My Outdoor TV, and Hoyt. We didn't have to wait long to find out if our experiment was going to work. As soon as we got up on top of that ridge, we got near that pond, and there was a big doe in the pond drinking. Right above her on the levee looked like a 3-year-old 8-pointer. Pretty comical because she looked at us and then she went back to drinking again. We're driving by. It's probably 80 yards away, 70 yards away. The buck didn't like it, but he wasn't going to leave that doe, and that doe didn't care. He watched us the whole way past. They never did run off. And we got around the corner, and there was a little 1.5-year-old buck bedded right on the lane. And he jumped up, ran about 20 yards, looked back, and then he just walked away as we drove past. He didn't even look back. He just walked off across the cornfield. So I think the tractor definitely got us in a lot cleaner than if we tried to come in that same way by any other method. The only option would have been to go clear around and come in across that picked cornfield. And that would have been perfect, but once again, we got to try to get back out of here. And with that tractor, the deer know there's a tractor, you know, and now it's parked up here, right where the wind is taking our scent. I'll drop a few floaters for you and you can see the wind is a little bit bouncing around up here, but that's the direction that it's going mostly, is right straight toward that tractor. So, you know, you figure they're going to see the tractor and then they're not going to walk right up to it. Hopefully. Who knows? But that should keep that close range downwind spot open. It'd be better if the wind was from the southwest, blowing out more behind and to my right, but it's not. And this is where that buck is at. We've been getting pictures of him here in this general area. This is where he lives. Now's the time to hunt him. We can't keep bouncing around the fringe hoping for the perfect conditions that may never come. Got about an hour and a half left. It's right around 4. Gosh, it's really beautiful. This is just one of those classic days. May not be cool enough for maximum movement, but it's just such a comfortable and fun day to be sitting in the woods. Shortly after we got here, probably within the first hour, that buck and doe that we saw when we were driving in, they came running through. And there was a forkhorn and a fawn that kind of fell into the action too. It was all pretty quick. We didn't get any footage. You didn't get any footage, did you? Mm-mm. And it's been quiet since then, but if that doe was hot, as long as that buck didn't run her clear out of here, and if she's still around here someplace, that could attract a lot of attention before this day is over. Big old gobbler. Got about 40 minutes left. And nothing since my last update. Some turkeys, I guess. Carson loves turkeys.
There's tons of them in here.
We've got a lot of turkeys. So I'm going to go silent here because I still think we're due to see something. We're definitely due, one way or the other. Tomorrow is supposed to be northwest wind, so we're going to go into some spots that we haven't hunted yet. In fact, I think first thing tomorrow morning, we're going to go up and hunt that stand that we hung above that pond where we put that blind in that valley. That should be a really good spot. And then, depending on how things go tomorrow afternoon, I think we'll set up just on the other side of this big valley in front of me. That buck that we're hunting pretty much just lives in and around this big valley. So we're going to spend as much time in that same area. And eventually we should cross paths with him. If not yet today, hopefully sometime soon. We'll show you what else we see this afternoon. But until tomorrow, I guess we'll sign off. We appreciate you joining us. See you right back here again soon for the next episode of Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. And remember to always dream big.